I want to do Warlock. Probably pick Croc here, I think. Phoenix is good too, but I think Pickroc's still better. Like, unless you know that you have a curve weakness there. Here, we don't really know if we're gonna be a Fungal Mancer deck or not. So, without knowing that, I think we lean for the Librarian. I don't hate Thrasher, but I'm also not the biggest fan of it. I do like Quicksand Elemental. Scorcher's good. Dragon Slayer's not bad either. I think Scorcher's better though. Garab versus Demon Fire. Oh, hold up. My little preview tab is playing at max quality. Probably not a good idea. I just upped the stream up to 1080p, so I like doubled the bitrate to do that. So I don't want a 6000 bitrate stream playing in the background. That's not gonna be good for my PC. Anyway, Scarab is not good, and it's not terrible in Warlock, but it's just not good. Okay, let me consult the win rates here really fast. Oh, I need to. Wait, it is sound in background. What the hell? It wasn't playing in background. Confused. Still not playing in background. Oh yeah, it is. Never mind. Demon Fire is way higher. Okay. Let me see here. So I think it's not Siphon Soul. It's definitely between these two. I do like Rap Golem. They're both amazing, obviously, but I mean, to be honest, I don't get offered Prime Drake very much. But I really like Rap Golem. Has a higher win rate. If you know you're gonna be like a super stall heavy deck, this would be better, but like I don't know. I don't think you want to play Warlock this way where you're like just trying to stall out. The thing is like people actually like mages and priests and even rogues a lot. Probably not rogues anymore, but like mages and priests will just fatigue you if you try to go this route. I think you need like actual threats. This isn't great against priest either because they just entomb it, but I mean sometimes it doesn't get entombed at least. This is like a 2-mana Kobold Librarian, which doesn't get self-harm synergy. Seems kind of weak. Worgen has been very good for me. Before the patch, I think I would say it was really good for me. I think after the patch, it's been less good. Just because there's less rogues and hunters. I'm still gonna try it because we're still kind of experimenting, so I'm willing to try it out. I think Eggnapper is just the best card here. Shabolt's not terrible, but I would only pick it over an Eggnapper if we had a lot of threes and we're missing initiative. I think for us, Eggnapper is just gonna be better. Here, I think we just take Mortal Coil. I know some people really like this card. It's definitely not. I'm not taking this over a Coil. Jaywood taking Sidekick. Sidekick's probably better, but I want to try Worgen. I think we just take Coil. So my general rule with Warlock, which I think has worked pretty well, is you want to have 2 AoEs, and it doesn't really matter what the AoEs are. Like, I mean AoEs that are bigger than Scorcher. So like, you want to have like 2 of these. Like, between like Shriek, Hellfire, Shadow Flame, guess Nether too. Like, you want to have 2 of those in the entire deck. So we're 10 cards in, we don't have one yet. We could take this. I honestly want the Toad though, just because I think the curve is more important. Warlord doesn't look great for us right now. Pressure is probably more consistent. Healing is nice. Pyromancer might be very nice. Pyromancer probably has more upside. Hello, Mr. Headbanger. How you doing? Headbanging to the Hearthstone music, I see. Card quality is crazy in Paladin. Oh, yeah, I mean, it was pretty... Your feeling is probably accurate, because, it was one of the classes... Like, I thought it was fine before, and they buffed it, so... It was one of the... It was, like, the best class that they buffed. Or they buffed Mage, too. No, they didn't touch Mage. Warlock and Mage were untouched. And they're currently the 2 highest win rates right now. 2 classes that were untouched. But Paladin is right next to Rogue right now in the win rate. Anyway, I think Pyromancer is better than Farseer. Healing is really nice, but okay. But here's a point where we get a Shadow Flame. If I took the Shriek, I would still probably take the Shadow Flame, I guess. Although we would feel slightly worse about it, I think. But now we can take the Shadow Flame, be really happy. It'd be nice to have the Tolvir too, like this is a good card. But, if I had the Shriek and the Shadow Flame, I would feel a little scared picking up 2 of those that early over like actual minions, but now we feel okay. So I think ideally we just get like 1 more Hellfire. Then we move on from there. Probably another Scorcher. We're gonna have like all the AoEs. Demon Bolt's great. One Soulfire might be nice. I don't hate Sapper. Sappers are pretty terrible win rate though. I've done very good things with Sapper, but they usually involve having like a Violet Worm also. And I don't really want... We don't have a Violet Worm, and I don't even want to pick one really. It's not like I wouldn't pick one. So it's between these 2. I think I value the Soulfire higher. If we had no AoE, I would probably value the Shriek higher. I got the win rates here really fast. Peddler is actually higher than Librarian. That's interesting. Pickrock wouldn't be unpickable here, but I don't know. These are all really good picks, so it's hard to say. Because I can't say like if we take the Pickrock, it's not like we'll be too heavy. We're still doing fine. This is good with like Demon Bolt and stuff too, and just smoothing out your curve can be really nice. I think I picked this over Librarian. If we had Librarian synergy, I would probably take this over it, but since we don't, we had self-damage synergy, so I think it's between these 2. One. Yeah, I think the early curve is more important than that threat, that specific threat. Tomb Spider has been very good. I think this is an expensive Tomb Spider though, so I don't think we take it over these. And ankle biter is really nice just because in Warlock specifically, because it's the class where that healing is the most relevant, I think. And I think I'm gonna take it for that reason. If I was a ping class, I would probably take the snail or the. Actually, I'd probably take the tomb spider and a lot. Like if it was a mage, I'd probably take the spider. If I was like a rogue, I would probably. Actually, tomb spider gives you feral cat too. I don't know. I guess a lot of the ping classes, I would probably take the spider, but if I was like a druid, I would probably take the snail. I don't know. Fire's fine. Dark Reaper's amazing. We don't really have any taunt right now. We're gonna want to have some kind of taunt. These don't really count, but I mean, they don't not count. This could maybe draw us one card right now. I think these are better. Then between Tolvir and Gastropod, since we have absolutely no synergy for Tolvir right now, I guess we probably take the Gastropod. Like we have no healing at all, no minion healing. So, okay. Maybe here's another Pickrock. Librarian's not bad either. We're at the point where I don't know. We could try to go lighter. Honestly, this would not be a bad time to take Librarian. Like Librarian's really good too. Cause this is kind of a crossroads decision. Like we can kind of decide whether we want to go really light or not. I think I'd rather go not as light. It would fill out kind of like our turn 3 really well. That's the one thing, is that we're behind on 3 drops. We're not likely and we don't even have any 4 drops at all. Actually, we might just need this for the curve. Okay, I'm gonna pick it for that reason. But we need to find like minions in here. Okay, we're actually just a zoo deck now apparently. Okay, we're now a zoo deck. Okay, we have to embrace it now. Thank God we didn't take that shriek. That shriek would have been terrible, it turns out. If I'm being honest, Ancient Shade wouldn't be bad. I think we still take Bug Collector. Yeah, we need to not run against mages in this deck. Probably need this. Oh. I've never picked this card before. What mid game did I pass up? Because we're just not getting offered any late game. I know any mid game. I know I passed a Tomb Spider. That was the one I remember. Maybe Taunt. Yeah. I've seen people just like, the one thing is like this is really good with Shadow Flame too. In for 2 and 3 versus 4 mages. Well, like literally half of your opponents are going to be mages, right? At least if you go to low. Actually, maybe we climb in the 2 loss bracket, because the 2 loss bracket probably won't have all that many mages at least. I'm just not sure. As I was saying, this is good with Shadow Flame, and every time people have played this against me, it hasn't fallen asleep, and then I've immediately lost the game to it. They're both so bad. Yeah. Need 4 drops. And 5 drops. I didn't really pass any 4 drops, did I? I passed a 4/4. Apprentice might be better than Sewer Crawler. I think it is. What's the higher win rate? Dude, go balls. Yeah, a little late for that comment. I already decided. They're actually identical win rates. I'll value the damage then. Dude, what the hell? Only we had healing. I guess we take a 3/3 or a maybe 4/4. Dude, I mean, we don't even want a Scorcher now, because it's going to do more damage to us than our opponent. At least, Berserker is good with the Scorchers we have. We don't actually have that many 2s either, so... If we were not a Warlock, this would be the easiest Octozari of our lives. It might still be the easiest Octozari of our lives. I don't know. The problem is like, we're gonna be tapping on like turns 4, 5, 6 a lot. Like probably like 1 or 2 taps every time. And then this is just gonna take us straight to fatigue. Why is Colossus bad? Just cause it's just really slow. It could be the pick here though. The problem is, like, if it was any other class, this would be such an easy Octosari. I think it might still be Octosari. Let me see, by the time we even play this card, we're gonna be... This is gonna take us almost straight to fatigue. I think we take... Let me see, do we have good brand synergy? Like, this we can't really do because it's, like, the same turn. This we probably don't want to do. This we definitely don't want to do. This is okay. I don't think we have any, like, amazing... It could be good with Quickstand or something, or... Yeah, brand might not be bad. We have, like, Librarian, Voodoo Doctor, Bug Collector, Ankle Biter, Dark Peddler. It's probably just brand. Fills in the curve, kind of, too. Yeah, I think we just take Bryn. Okay, it's gotta be Vulture, right? Yeah, killing Octo would be a win condition for the opponent. The thing is like, if we play it on 8, it'll be good. But if it's in the bottom half of our deck, it's unplayable. You know? And it's also not playable until 8, and it's also not a good tempo card on 8. Like, all these things make it not so good in Warlock. This is brand synergy, but we just gotta take Vulture. It's our only 4-drop. Yeah, let's see. So I actually started using... I figured I would try to test out using Hearth Arena too. Like, I don't have it working for the scores, but I just want to see the pick. Let's see, the picks we were looking at, like, yeah, okay, fine. Sidekick over Worgen, but it's close. Warlord over Crusher, Mercy over Pyro, Shriek over Soulfire, yeah, I'm glad we didn't make that pick. Gastro over Ankle Biter by a little bit. It really wanted the Ancient Shade because we didn't have... It really wanted all of these bad 4-drop that we passed on. It wanted Toothy Chest over South Sea Captain. And it really wanted the Octozari. It really wanted the Peddler over the Vulture. That's kind of weird. I think those are all, like, deck synergy things. That by the end of it, it's like, you're a classic aggro deck. Score? Oh, I can look. Hold up.
Gul'dan versus Gul'dan.
Open in website. Where is the score even? Oh. The Temple Warlock, 73. That's pretty good, right? Average is usually like 70 right now, I'd imagine. This is a fairly good 3. We can probably find, like, I think we should just look for ones, though. I tend to often consider bad in Arena because it takes too long. In general, yes, but in Warlock especially, yes. We can play the Berserker and hope that he doesn't trade into it, and if he doesn't trade, we just win the game. I think we just go for this, though. We can go 1, 3, 3. Are we gonna do that? We might want to we can just discard the coin if we want. I don't know. That would have been good.
I fight.
So we just trade here. And then the question is, do we coin this out? We're gonna lose one of the 2s, so that kind of screws up our turn 4 plan. It's either that or we just play the Berserker. We probably just gotta do this because it's so good on board right now. Damn. People pick 69, it wins fairly often. Yeah, it's about average, right? So wow. That's more value than I ever imagined that card could get. Okay. My mouse is kind of off. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. I don't know why that is. Because my mouse is right over the card and it's, yeah, I don't know. Like my mouse is over his hero right now. I don't know why that is. Why would that be? Oh. Wait. Hold up. That is it. It's because my game capture window. OBS thinks my game capture. I can't really show it on. There's no way I can show it on screen. But it thinks my game capture is not the entire screen. So that should mean, yeah, if I go up to the top left, it looks correct. Don't know what to do. Okay, this might work. No, that still didn't work. What the hell? Okay, I don't know. Opponent's mana is weird. Well, that's just because all the stuff is off a little bit. Change game resolution to fix it. Well, it's at full screen right now. Let me look. So does that help? Okay, that helped. That's still the other stuff is off though. I'm gonna need to fix that other stuff a little later then. Let's see. Okay, so we can just be good at the game and this hits it. So alternatively, we would like Demon Fire this guy and just trade with these 2. Seems like a bad idea. Let's try this. Cool. Confirmed good at the game. I need to fix the other overlay too then. Where is my other overlay? Hold up.
From nothing, power.
Is that food?
Dude, I don't know where the other overlay is. I have so many like sources in OBS that I actually have no idea where it is. It's here. Text tracker, overlay. Transform, fit to screen. Okay, now we're good. It's probably because I probably have the overlay set as something different in there too. Alright, well anyway, now we should be good. This guy is brave.
Who you want me to?
We didn't have lethal, right? Because we could have like enraged strong guy. I don't think we were close though. Now everything looked right, right? I think it does.
Bring me steel.
Oops. I just clicked on something and moved. And okay, it should be good now.
Who you want me
Easy game. Well, let me do one thing. Getting my system sound down so it's not so loud for me.
Gul'dan versus Maiev.
Ooh, what are those? Those are cookies. Delicious.
Can escape my fury.
Your soul shall be mine.
Hmm. Look for better curve plays. That worked.
Buying or selling.
I think we would take this over this, but do we value a blood imp more? Maybe. It might be good, honestly.
I wonder.
Any reason I mulligan those two? Just, I think the average card in our deck is better. I don't like keeping, especially the faster my deck is, and this is a very fast deck, I don't like keeping substatted cards in general.
Look what I found.
So I just think those deck cards wouldn't do much for us. We're gonna be playing we're just gonna be ripping Vulture on curve. Could do this now. We still play this. Because we have another turn 6 play anyway, so I don't think we hold it off. He's gonna like flank it, I guess we're okay with it.
Thank you.
That is amazing. Oh my god. Oh!
I love omelets. I'd be thirsty.
Since we have a fairly decent alternative and we also have Bran with it, I think I'll play this over the quicksand.
The light protects me.
Deal.
Damn. This thing gives him a betrayal target. Misplay. Now he has 2 minions that are must kill, so that's pretty good for us. Do I think people who use Hearthstone are just deluded in how good they think they are? I mean, only part of the game is drafting, and I mean, I don't, like, think it's, like, a bad thing to use Hearth Arena. I mean, I wouldn't say that, but...
Smart moves. I concede.
So, I mean... Even if someone's drafting for you, you still have to be able to play the game yourself, and if you have a good average using Hearth Arena, you obviously can play the game, so... Yeah, turns out Disease Vulture is a decent card. Who thought? Who'd have thought it?
Gul'dan versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
Your soul shall be mine.
Might not even keep this one in this deck. What are our 3-drops? We have a Tar Creeper. The only 3-drop that I would call better than this is one Tar Creeper. I'll keep it then. If you know how to use it, it's good. Yeah, especially with Hearth Arena, like, you have to know how to use it. Because, like, obviously if you're a new player, then, like, if you just listen to Hearth Arena on every pick, it'll probably work out pretty well for you, but, like, if you already kind of know how picks work and drafting works and stuff, you're not gonna agree with it all the time, and you probably shouldn't agree with it every time. We do this ping flame elemental basically counters it, so guess we just play this. It shows you a bunch of stats. Yeah, that's the only reason, like I did this draft with Hearth Arena open, but I have it set where it doesn't even show me the scores, because to be honest, like, that's not what I want to use it for. I only have it open just so I can look over, like, the picks at the end. Because I think that part of it is useful. Dude, he could have a freaking... He could play Meteor next turn.
Buying or selling.
I'm not saying the tool isn't useful at all, but, like, for me, I think that's by far the most useful part, would be just to look over the draft at the end. Just to, like, kind of see, like, what kind of drops you passed on. You know, that kind of stuff. He's gonna Flame Strike us, I'm, like, 99% sure. I think I think he's just he's freezing the board to save for the Glyph Flame Strike. It seems like by far the most likely thing to happen.
I love omelets.
It's Blast Wave. Oh. Well, I predicted the wrong auto win card. My bad. How much damage was that? That was 9. So I would have saved a 1-1 or something if I had fully tempoed out. Yeah. This was a fun and entertaining game of Hearthstone. Would play again.
The light protects you.
It's a lot harder to average north of 7.5 without Hearth Arena. I mean, if you're talking about averaging like straight up, like there's like you can count on like your hands the number of people that can actually do that consistently. But in the entire like on like the entire North American or European server. But
I wonder.
well, I think anyone that is able to average 7.5 can do it without Hearth Arena. Anyone that's good enough to do that doesn't need Hearth Arena to tell them what to pick.
No walls can hold me.
So that's gonna pull like a Violet Worm or something. We need to find like... Right. I was gonna say we need to find our Bone Wraith. So we need something that this thing... We need a taunt that this thing can't suicide into, and we actually don't have one. That's a problem. Actually, we have the Dire Troll. Okay, maybe that'll work. He still has the Glyph spell. Well, what I'm saying though, like, there's a big difference between like averaging 7.5, like in general, versus like averaging 7.5 for a leaderboard.
No walls can
Oh my
hold
god.
me.
What's this one do? What's this I tried this. I tried this.
That's actually good for us, maybe. Oh my god. I think this level of memes just shouldn't be possible.
It's too full.
You couldn't at least like do anything negative. Huh.
I wonder.
I mean, we should just leave this game, but... Okay, fine. I'm just gonna let this guy, I'm just gonna let whatever happen at this point. The way we win is this thing pulls another puzzle block. Oh, come on. We're dead. Not dead, technically. He still has his glyph spell, by the way. Anyway. Well, I've disengaged from this game, so it's not able to trigger me. But anyway, and the other comment I wanted to talk about, like, so the other one round pick would send you down a rogue, which put you down a road, which ruins a deck. I mean, I don't know. It would be hard for that to happen. Like, I'm not saying that can't happen, but at least I found lethal. Like, especially if you're following Hearth Arena. Like, if you're just auto-picking whatever Hearth Arena recommends, that can happen, because Hearth Arena will... You know, it's always going to try to, like, after the first few picks or whatever, it's going to try to assign your deck to an archetype, and then it's going to, you know, recommend your picks based off whatever archetype it thinks your deck is. And, you know, that can happen where... you know, you're trying to build a certain type of deck, and Hearth Arena thinks you're trying to build a different type of deck, and that's where a lot of the disagreement comes from, I think. It'll actually be better later. I think we still keep it. So for example, like, you're just building, like, you're trying to build, like, a slow mid-range deck, but you just get offered, like, good early curve minions early, and then Hearth Arena thinks you're drafting an aggro deck, and it tries to start, you know, giving you aggro cards, but you're just like, whoa, like, I just want to build a slow mid-range deck, you know, and that's where you start to, like, where you'll see someone, like, disagree with, like, almost every pick it tells them. Until after a while it'll figure out what you're doing. Oh, okay, you're actually doing a, and then it'll figure out after a while, okay, you're actually doing a mid-range deck, and then it'll start making more sense. But, like, that's kind of the thing that is the reason why with Hearth Arena, you need to actually, like, use it as a tool, and you need to kind of pilot it yourself. You can't just really listen to it. Yeah, I guess Pyromancer and Ankle Biter is good. Why not? Like, the only reason you could try to hold Pyromancer to maybe get better AoE in the future, but it's probably not happening, honestly. And we have Scorchers anyway.
Someone call for the doctor.
Big, sharp, pointy teeth.
Life is an afterthought.
So many possibilities.
Okay. I should have not put this on the left. Now I guess we do this. It's probably would have been better to keep this guy on the far edge, but whatever. question here is, I guess we could injure one of these. I guess we just kill the 1/1 though. Probably better. Zoo deck with Scorchers. Yeah, this wasn't supposed to be a zoo deck.
Wanna blow something up?
But then we literally didn't get offered mid-game and we were offered all early game. Fine.
Look what I found.
We should probably play the captain over the egg napper because he still has the other scarab, right? So if we play this, we don't really have anything to kill the scarab with. The next scarab. So this is probably better. And this is why I love this card in Warlock. You can stick it against a hunter and then you just like get like a free 10 healing out of nowhere. No! My captain. Captain, my captain. No! Okay, what can we even draw? Like, I mean, I'm saying that as if we're losing, but we're doing fine, but what would help us right now? This is really awkward for us. This is gonna eat our whole board. That would help us.
I cast arcane missiles.
It's time for a little blood.
But since we're talking about like Hearth Arena so much, like I mean I was a person who like I was resistant to even using like deck tracker. Cause like I don't think it actually helps you that much, to be honest, and like
Join the guild.
I think it actually hurts you more than you people realize because you deck tracker kind of allows you to play without internalizing what's actually in your deck, you know, which is a bad thing in a way because you know, it allows you to not be thinking about not if you internalize it more, you're going to make better decisions just because you know more of like what's in your deck and stuff. So it's like
You toast.
probably need to get the Scorcher out of our hand.
My turn to show them what's what.
And it's like kind of the same way where it's like it's kind of the same effect where it's like even though like you know initially you'd think like it's the same way with Hearth Arena, like if you are using it, it should, if you use it correctly, it should help you, but also it'll end up just naturally forming an auto reliance on it. So like you're better off like not using it as much as possible. It's a good tool for seeing how badly we do. That is true. Tracker's great for streamers. Yeah, I only started using it when I started streaming because I was like, well, I guess I should now. It's also a great tool for stream snipers to be able to know exactly what to expect as well. The point is, like, before I used a deck tracker, like, part of, like, playing Arena was, like, you need to, like, look through your deck, and it's the same thing. You can do it with, like, Hearth Arena, like, you can still look through, like, what the different types of cards are, but that was just a necessary thing, was, like, you just go through your deck and you're just thinking about, okay, what are the cards that I need to be thinking about I have? So, like, you look for, like, reach cards like Pit Croc. You look for your big drops in general. You want to know what your big drops are, what your reach cards are, what your big removals are, what your AoEs are. You just need to go through like that checklist and see, okay, what are the cards I should be thinking about drawing? And as long as you do that, like if you just memorize, like you don't even have to memorize your entire deck, but if you just memorize like a third of your deck, like all the cards that are basically what I just described, then you're like 99% there.
job's done.
Well, it's the same. It's the thing is like when you have a deck track, like you can always like do it, but especially when I think it allows you to autopilot more than I mean, like obviously if you're going to autopilot, you're gonna autopilot anyway. But like I think it just makes it easier to autopilot. I think stream sniping doesn't seem to be an issue anymore. I mean, I'm a tiny streamer, right? I still get stream sniped every now and then. But sometimes it's just really obvious. That might be worth it. Might not be worth it though. Probably not worth it.
I wonder.
That's better.
Look what I found.
We play around Blessing of Kings by trading. That's about it, honestly. You took a different nickname on Twitch, you wouldn't ever be sniped. Well, I don't know. Well, it didn't used to happen. Maybe it happens a little bit more now, but like I don't think it ever used to happen where I would doing that in case of redemption. It's probably Sacred Trial. Or it's Repentance, and then we can just do this.
I love armor.
Like, I mean, I don't think it ever happens where... But it happens... It's been happening a little bit more, I think, recently, but I don't think it ever used to happen where someone would see my nickname in-game and see, like, oh, I recognize that name, I'm gonna go look them up on Twitch. And then they find me and then start ghosting. Like, I don't think that ever used to happen. Like, unless you're really big, I don't think that ever happens to you. Like, it happens to me, like, once in, like, a month, probably. I think that. But, like, most of the time people do it by sniping you directly. Like, they are watching your stream and they're like, okay, I'm gonna queue up right into him. You know?
Buying or selling.
Can just discard this. No, we'll just discard this. Well, actually, if we have a Flame Imp, this wouldn't be terrible.
So many possibilities.
I guess we still just play this. Well, we're playing Consecration literally as hard as possible, but... How do they ghost you? Well, it doesn't stop anyone from... If you have a different name in game, and first of all, I don't want to have a different name in game because I want my leaderboard, my name to be on the leaderboard. But second of all, if you have a different, you would have to like have a different name, and also not show your name on stream. If you do those two things, which again I wouldn't want to do because of the leaderboards, but if you do those two things, then it becomes a lot harder for them to snipe, but still not impossible. Because they can still just look for you, you know. Like, you can just, they can try to snipe you, and they just look, they wait until you play 2 cards, and you play 2 cards. I don't think we Shadow Flame here, because I think this is still better. And we have this too. To be honest, we could just slam this too. I don't know, we just do this. I feel like we just don't have to Shadow Flame. That's how most people, I mean, that's what sniping literally means, is Q sniping them.
Which path to choose?
Because the thing is, like, especially like if you're a really small streamer, like no one's gonna recognize your name, right? Like it happens to me a lot more. Like the last month or so, like more people have been coming in like, oh hey, I recognize your name, and then I came in here, right? That's been starting to happen, but that's what I was saying. Like that used to never happen. Especially now when less people. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Gul'dan versus Gul'dan.
I think like honestly, I think, you know, people keep throwing that around, the fact like less people are playing. There's not a lot of evidence. Like maybe it dropped a little bit, but I mean, people are saying it as if it's like a big. I mean, it is a big deal, but like we don't know how many people like. There's probably like it was probably like a 20% drop off or something. People are saying it as if it's like the game is dead or something. Would I pick Violet Worm over Dark Iron Dwarf over 70% of the time? I would say no. I don't know. It would that really depends on what kind of deck you're trying to build.
The light protects me.
I would probably favor Dark Iron Dwarf in general, actually. We have one turn to top deck our Vulture. Worm is probably, I mean, I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm still kind of living in the old meta, and like, I think in the new, well, I don't know, Dark Iron Dwarf's really good in this meta too, but Worm is definitely better than it was before the micro adjust. So. because after it was rebucketed and before the micro adjust, Worm was almost like, it was almost a never pick, honestly. Three. Oh. Like before, like I would only take it if I had literally no late game drops and I was like over halfway through my draft. And then I still probably wouldn't pick it if I was playing like Hunter. I think we go for this.
I fight.
Scurvy dog.
We have the Frozen Crusher Shadow Flame, which is actually really dirty. Is that a Soulfire? No. Okay. Yeah, we might just Shadow Flame like the Raptor probably. Oh. Sick. Good thing he didn't get Death Rattle.
Time for a little blood.
Right away.
Probably no reason to even make that trade, I don't know. What is a drafted Plague of Flames?
Another soul to consume.
Actually, talking about cards that I consider never picks, like to me, Plague of Flames is a never pick. I tested it and it was consistently the worst card in my deck. This is annoying. I might just pick Crockett's Phase. Think so. It's the problem is like you just never have the right situation for it. Like this was like one of those like 90% games. This was like one of those like I mean like it was like one of those 5% games where we gave him the right situation for it. But it's like you need to have like the perfect deck for it. And you need to like get the perfect situation, which is like a situation that almost never happens. It's like it just never happens, really. We do this first. Gives this slightly higher odds to go phase. That's why you put a Soulfire in your deck. Cause like, I think like Plague of Flames isn't even worth it. Like, you know, it's really good with like he had it with Bug Collector. Bug Collector is one of the cards that actually makes it work sometimes, kind of.
Let the hunt begin. Your soul
But
shall be
like,
mine.
you need like there's just not enough cards that really activate it well enough. Like Bug Collector is one, and like if you have like an egg, that's like the other one, you know. And there's just not enough of those cards in the game. You're just not gonna have them often enough, and like maybe Egg Napper could make it work too. But like there's just not enough of those cards that make it work, I think. it's just not nearly consistent enough. And then even if you have all of the combo pieces, then like you need your opponent to play directly into it at like the exact time that makes it worth it. It's just not, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't usually happen.
Someone call for the doctor. Thanks.
The thing is like honestly, it is a good meta for it too, but it still just doesn't. It just doesn't happen very often. Like it just isn't worth it usually. Because you need to be like, okay, you need to have like all of these Zooey minions, which means you want to be on board. But the card also requires you to more or less be off board.
I love omelets.
It's fine, I think. Did I skip Ankle Bearer to save its ping? Yeah, basically. I want to get a better hand too. Ping useful. I have this on 6.
Don't touch the egg.
It's almost a waste of a snail, to be honest. I still think it's worth playing though. You could have just dropped Squire. But you could argue for just dropping the Squire there and then you save the snail for next turn. But that's only better if the hunter plays like a really good 4-drop, and most of the time they just won't. As he just didn't, you know? So. I mean, but again, like, the problem with Plague, there are honestly, well, yeah, there's not a ton of targets, but if you're playing against, like, a slower deck, there are a lot of targets. But the issue, I would say, more than that, is just the fact that, like, the situation is, like, you're playing a Zoo deck, and you're going to expect your opponent to be completely off board, right? Because you push them off board. But then you're going to have a lot of minions on board, and you're not going to want to Plague of Flames your entire board to kill one big taunt, because that's what's going to happen. They're going to play one big taunt, and then you're going to have 5 minions, and you're going to be looking at this Plague of Flames, and I'm like, I don't want to cast this. You know, that's the issue.
Who knows what secrets will
And ironically, like, people, like, that was one of the arguments people made, is like, people are like, well, at least this is a better Unwilling Sacrifice, and that's like the situation that if you're playing that kind of deck, you're gonna run into a lot. And it's like, well, that's exactly where, like, you'd rather have Unwilling Sacrifice. Even though Unwilling Sacrifice costs 3 mana. Like, you have to use Plague of Flames in a very specific way. You have to use it as a swing. You need to be behind, but then you also need to have all these Zooey minions. Which leads you to ask the question, why are you behind if you drafted a lot of Zooey minions? That seems like a bad strategy. Well, because it is. You know? It's just, it's a weird thing. Like, I'm not saying it's impossible to pull off, but it's like really awkward, and you need to play like kind of a weird way that you typically wouldn't think you'd be wanting to play.
Someone call for the doctor.
Because, like, my opponent that cast Plague of Flames, that was almost what he was doing. Like, he drafted Zoo, and then he was just, like, sandbagging really hard. And then, just so he could get, like, a Plague of Flames swing. Which was nice and all, but then he still spent his whole mana doing that swing turn. It wasn't really a swing, it was more like just, like, a slightly cheaper Twisting Nether that cost him, like, 4 cards. Any reason why I don't cast this? It's because this is in my hand.
What if?
It's gonna suck if he kills this. It's very hard for him to kill this. The only way he would kill it would be B's hero power. Or, I mean, there's other ways. Druid actually has a lot of damage, but, like, it's just, you don't see a lot of stuff like Claw or Pounce very often. The most telegraphed swipe in the history of the world. Okay. Well, swipe doesn't kill this, so... Fine.
Big, sharp, pointy teeth.
Like, we can taunt to try to protect this, or we can just take the tap now. Probably better just take the tap now. Beautiful. Because if we just protect it, it's like, well, we're just trying to protect it to get one more tap. Like, well, we could just get the tap, right? So. Yeah, that was one of the things that was surprising to me, was that Eggnapper actually has a higher win rate than Candle Taker.
Now how about?
This seems like a worse card. People are just phobic of choosing the 5/5 option on that card. Like, every time I see that card, I feel like people should play the 5/5, and they just play the 3/3s anyway. Like, why do you not just take the 5/5 and kill this? Like, ow. I don't. He could have had a 5/2 and a 3/1, instead he just has a 3/3. Is that really, how is that better? I don't understand. Baser. Anternay, how you doing? And that's the thing, is like, cards that are picked more often do tend to have a lower win rate, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird, because I think Candle Taker is slightly worse than I would have expected it to. It's because, like, because there's so many pings and stuff, a lot of times it's only a 3/3. That's the issue with it, where Eggnapper is a bit harder to clear sometimes. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, well, sometimes it is, but a fair amount of the time it is actually harder, just harder to clear. Yeah, they're almost the inverse. It's like, well, Eggnapper mages like kill the first half immediately, but then they have 2 1/1s, and they don't deal with 2 1/1s very well. I think that's the reason. With Candle Taker, the difference is the 3/2 gets dealt with, and then the 3/1 gets pinged off afterwards. The second half gets pinged off afterwards. So it's like, you know, that kind of implies that like having a 3/2 is worse than having two 1/1s, which might be true, honestly.
in my radiance.
Still just kill him. And that's the thing. That's the other thing about it is like that was the other reason why it's like, well, it feels like Candle Taker should be a better card, but maybe it's not. But if it wasn't a better card, you would think that Scorcher. You would think that Scorcher would make it not a better card, even if you can say, okay, maybe it actually is better. Scorcher should make it worse, but then I don't know. The stats just don't show that, so I don't know. We're gonna go 3 into 3. We don't need a 2. I don't know, maybe it's wrong to go 3 into 3 on this deck. I'm just hoping we find a 1, because that would make it perfect. The other way is to, It's our 2 best 3 drops though, so that's kind of why I want to do it. Normally with this deck we would want to coin 2s, I think. But if we have the 2 best 3 drops in our deck, then I guess it's okay. This was the one we tossed, right? So doesn't even mean we would have gotten one. If I wasn't against a hunter, I think I would coin this out. Came back and I'm 7 wins. You left because you're like, well, this guy's gonna lose with this deck. But yeah, that's part of it. Like, higher pick rate does again. It tends to Well, one thing that's like, it's not even like higher pick rate. I think it's honestly like when Hearth Arena tends to overvalue certain cards, that'll I think butcher its win rate pretty hard, and I think they probably value Ignapper really high. It's also the position in the bucket too makes a difference. There's a lot of factors, right? So it's hard to like, I mean, even isolate a single one. Like how Hearth Arena evaluates a card actually I think has a lot of an effect. Because if people are blindly following Hearth Arena and a certain card is overrated by them, then I think that'll hurt the card's performance. We could actually Plague of Flames. This might actually be a Plague of Flames game. We can also just take War Control. I don't know, honestly. Like, I was kind of planning on just discarding this, but these are like really good 1-drop. How about trading Shadow Flame? I think it's kind of just a waste, I think. I mean, it doesn't feel strong enough. This Dire Troll's been really awkward. It's not bad here at least. Thing is like it's kind of like I think we need a better Shadow Flame than that. Like that Shadow Flame is like it's like a really bad Arcane Explosion and it's our entire turn 5. I think we need something better than that essentially. This is a lot better. Yeah, the problem with like, especially if you're going to use like your best resource to clear a board like that, it's like, yeah, you clear the board, but then he fills up the board, and then what are you going to do? And you kind of look at your hand, you're like, well, I'm not going to do anything, so I'm just going to lose, essentially. If you Shadow Flame this, doesn't really make sense. Oh, we're still gonna lose. Oh, that's useful. The road have 3-1 alive. Is that true? I guess that's true. You kill... Yeah, I guess that is true. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, this is where that other Scorcher comes in. Or that. Oh my god. I shouldn't have positioned. Actually, it's fine. Yeah, this is fine. Still, I mean, this is a huge board. The terror. He's terrorized a Flappy Bird in his past, you can tell. If he leaves that thing up. Obviously, we can't take that much more damage, but one more tap should be okay. Oh, yeah. The problem. We're just dead? Okay, never mind. I have to draw. So if we can protect this lifesteal, we're pretty good. We don't need to live that long either. That's nice. Only way to way to buff this thing. I think we can actually tap, to be honest. What are we tapping for though? Not much, honestly. Our deck's kind of useless. I'm being honest.
I wonder.
Yeah, fine. Let's just play this. And... Only thing is, if we play this, we set up lethal. Swing, and I'm not sure if that was what he wanted or not. That was kind of a good target for him, but also kind of not. He kind of needed to hit this, you know? We could take the draw, actually. Yeah, it's fine. Let's take the draw. Beautiful. Wow. Hey, Judge. Thanks for the raid, man. Welcome everyone from the courtroom. How you guys doing? Okay, we will play around crushing walls this time. Best end of a stream you've seen in a long time. I may have to check out the VOD then. Nice.
Well fought. I concede.
Biffed it. What does biff mean? I don't even know. You Canadians with your English that I don't understand. He's making a beer can tower. Nice. Somebody clipped it then, right? One of you guys has to have clipped it. You thought you had it?
Gul'dan versus Valera.
Watch your
Somebody must have clipped it, right?
Soul shall be mine.
For one drops. Hey, one drops. Hey. Here's literally the second before host. Yeah. When you try to click the clip button and then it's immediately on the other stream, you're like, no.
the light.
Hey, that probably makes it like if you get rated out, that probably makes it actually impossible to clip, huh? Can you clip from a VOD? I don't actually know. I'm not sure if you can. I could try that. You can clip from a VOD. Okay. So it is possible. This guy needs to chill out with his fireflies. Probably not much sense in not tempoing out.
I fight.
As terrible as this is,
Trust of pirate code.
I got the 11-2 Warlock game in the middle run. One of the best games of Hearthstone. I'll have to look. But let me look at. I'm gonna go look at the beer can thing. It's an issue. We have an issue here. We're probably gonna play this on 5. In that case, I guess we just give him this. Probably better than doing nothing. As much as it is awful. You won't spoil it for me? Alright. Time to look at this beer can pyramid.
So many possibilities.
I do not see the beer can pyramid. Yeah. Kind of committed to this. And Twitch VODs are not easy to click through.
Time for an experiment.
I have like my problem now is like I don't have my taskbar since I switched my save this combo. We're so close already, we might as well try to cheese him out fully with it. Anyway, I switched my Hearthstone to full screen so I can do it in like true 1080p. But now like I don't have the taskbar on my main monitor, so now I have to look at my taskbar, and the taskbar is literally right under my light, my face light. So I have to like, where is it?
So many options.
Oh, actually, I can just use the taskbar on my third monitor. I should use that. Yeah, that'll make more sense. Just a tower that crapped into the view of the camera. Nice. Dude, this is rude. Do not do that, sure. You guys trying to kill us? Appreciate if you didn't try to kill us. We still do this? Would have been nice to have. This Fan of Knives is gonna suck. Hey Jayhawks, how you doing?
Mushroom power.
Well, we know he doesn't have Fan of Knives, because he would just killed us. I mean, not Fan. We know he doesn't have Eviscerate. We know he probably also doesn't have Fan. I mean, he might have Fan. Yeah, he could still have Fan. What am I saying? We have 12 power. I guess we're just dead.
I wonder.
We literally have to run our entire board into his board. Must be nice to have Plaguebringer and Fungalmancer with the perfect curve.
We hear your heart.
Must be nice. I don't think we have any outs. That's close. Let's look at this.
Okay, 10 seconds. I got it. Boom. Okay, raid's going.
Oh, nice.
Shit. Okay. 10.
The mode is perfect for this. Pepe laugh. Wine stir. Right after he yelled shit is when the stream went over. Need a larger base. Yeah.
Gul'dan versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
Your soul shall be mine.
So what you're saying is you didn't have enough beer cans, so you need more beer cans to make the real pyramid. Good comedic foreshadowing. Yeah. Alright, good night, Farados. Needs to have, I guess not with like building can pyramids, although I'm sure we did that, but one of the guys in my house, he used to, well, he made a table that was like, he just covered it entirely with bottle caps. Like I don't know, he used some kind of resin to like, just, you know, make it so that the top of the table was, so it was just a table on, a clear like tabletop on top of like just the entire table being filled up with bottle caps
I wonder.
from all the beers he drank. Same here, you have to sleep. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you have human needs? What? I mean, you have to sleep? You're not a robot? It's unusual. Seen a hockey beer caps table? Oh, that'd be cool. Nice. Yeah, perfect. He detempos right into our vulture turn. And, I mean, the only ways this could die are basically Fireball Polymorph, right? So... You live in a town where every table is that table? I've probably gone to, like... I've probably seen that at bars and stuff, but... That was the only time I've seen someone actually do it themselves. Yeah, can we all just move to JT's town?
What to do,
Sounds legit.
What to do?
Alas!
Bella Vista, where's that? I've heard of that. Why you know demon? Well, you have nothing else to do. If only this was a Shadow Bolt. Alright, see you, Judge. Thanks for the raid, of course. If anyone here doesn't know Judge, you should definitely check out his channel as well. Yeah, should do a shout out. That's a problem. It's a bigger problem. Probably a mirror then, right? It's a mirror. Oh, doesn't really work. Because I almost feel like he's just hoping we give him something that will let him kill our vulture. So part of me is like, we probably just don't play anything. Although we can give him this. That would be fine. If we do this, we don't want to demon fire it, but now we can demon fire it. It seems like that's his plan. If it didn't seem so obvious that that was his plan, I wouldn't use the removal that cheaply, but fuck's sake. Could you not, sir?
I'm gonna win big.
Sometimes you just gotta embrace the scumbag mage. I'm assuming that one is a flame ward. That's a flame ward. We probably want to attack this way, and I think we just trigger it now. Get this out. Getting this out, I think, is just worth more than getting a tap out of the vulture. Gives him a thing that's even more important to kill than the vulture. No! My boy! Now he has a... Now he has a, Rap Golem to worry about. Oh yeah, Isle of Beasts is by UC Santa Barbara. That's why I know it. Yeah. Because I've been to... I don't know... I probably did go to Isle of Beasts. Yeah, I definitely did actually. I went to the beach there. Or by the beach there. It's not really a beach, right? But it's so nice. Yeah, I might have done a cross-country race there. Actually. I don't know. In any case. It's a nice place.
Vaporization commencing.
Great trails on the bluffs, yeah. Yeah, I think that was one of the races we did. I think we only did that race once. I think they might have stopped doing it or something after we did it one time. It was like my sophomore year of high school or something like that.
Prove your worth, cur.
It was really nice, but yeah, they just like stopped doing it for some reason. I think. I can still tap and Shadow Flame this. Or we just play this. That's probably better. We just need to kill him before puzzle box, but we should be doing that. Probably do the restoration projects. Oh. Now I don't feel bad anymore, Mr. Mage. Hypnotory. Well, that would have been like... When were the restoration projects? Because that would have been like 10, 12 years ago. I think we were running like almost entirely on... I remember it being like almost entirely on like asphalt and concrete anyway. I don't think we were running on the grass. I might be wrong though. I don't remember it very well. I do kind of remember it. I just remember it being very windy. And not pleasant. For that reason, for running, but nice play.
You asked for it.
He's vulnerable to rising sea level erosion. Yeah. Any place that's vulnerable to rising sea level has a bit of an issue now. I think that does enough. This up actually. Good to have. Planting native species on the cliffs. Planting plants to actually try to hold the cliffs up, so to speak. I see.
Look how it burns!
Hmm. I think this is fine. The Pyromancer is kind of a double-edged sword right now. If we had a good play for 4 mana, I would just coin and trade, but we don't. So I think this is fine. Like, even if he's gonna draw a card, it doesn't matter all that much. Why? Like, my biggest concern isn't how many cards Mage draws. Like, they're just gonna puzzle box anyway. Why does it matter? Like, we don't get hurricanes. Yeah. There'd be a lot of places in California that just wouldn't work if you guys had hurricanes. I mean, there's so many people that build their houses up on hills and stuff, and they just have a random mudslide just take their house away. My parents would always be like, you know, maybe you shouldn't build your house on a hill. I remember hearing stuff like those people, like, they try to get insurance and like companies just won't even insure them anymore because we're like, we've seen that too many times. 70% of the world's population lives near water. Yeah, but they don't live like, well, in like some places around LA, like it's not even like, they're not even near water. It's just they're on like some muddy cliff on some random mountain, you know. Probably does more than Darmal. I wonder if they fixed it. Like, this card isn't draftable, right? Or it wasn't draftable. I wonder if they fixed that or if it's still undraftable. Check. Void. Looks like now it's still undraftable. I kind of wonder if they removed cards like this intentionally, but I don't know. They obviously haven't said anything about it because they don't. Blizzard doesn't really tell us anything anymore. Might just coin this and I don't know. Well, he can just ping this stuff down. It's really vulnerable for us anyway. Maybe we do actually trade it all in. It's a lot to trade in, kind of issue. I guess it's okay though. People building their house on a volcano. If you're in like Hawaii, basically, right? Or you build your house in Yellowstone, and you're building your house on a super volcano. I haven't thought about that in a while. It was like when I was in high school, like 10 years ago, like people were worried about Yellowstone actually blowing. You know, the super volcano, they're worried about it actually blowing. I feel like I haven't heard anything about that in a long time, so that must have like chilled out or something. Because I haven't heard that in so long. It must have just cooled off. Because for a while the the activity there was just going kind of bonkers. It must have cooled off or something. I want to do it this way because yeah. No, I don't even want to play anything. It's like Mirrenity or something. I guess it's okay. It's more likely to be runes anyway. Runes is a lot more common than Mirrenity. Crap. I don't want to give him healing, you know, but it's not the end of the world, I guess. When in Iceland, Vesuvius? I thought Vesuvius is inactive. I don't know. And there's a lot of big volcanoes. Are you talking about just the super volcanoes? I don't even know what the other super volcanoes are. I don't remember. Cause like this was literally 9th grade for me. Like that was like I learned about that like 13 years ago. I need to chill out with these secrets, man. Now it's runes. Oh, nice. That actually works. Perfect. I didn't know that. Important thing to note. Vulture works with explosive runes. On your tatters. It's weird that it works, because most cards like that it wouldn't work, but you can see the damage happens like simultaneously with on both the hero and the minion, so I don't know.
Get these off of me!
I guess it makes sense. Kind of. He was dead on board, but hey artist, how you doing? That's sweet, sweet 1080. Yeah, how does it look? Does it look good? It should look good because I literally doubled the bit rate. So I tried putting it to 6,000, but I think it counts like audio plus I put the video bitrate to 6,000 and then my stream was literally just black. I think they actually cap you at 6,000, so it was doing like 6,200 and then like literally the stream wasn't, it was just a black screen. I was like, okay, I'll turn it down a little bit. But hopefully it looks good. Now it's like my webcam is probably the ugliest part because I only have a 720p webcam. It'd probably look better if I had a better one. The one thing I might try is apparently, you know, like the best camera I own is actually my phone. So I could actually set it up so I'm using my phone as my webcam. That could be an interesting thing to try.
Gul'dan versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
That's the best camera I own, and I'm not buying a camera that costs more than that, or that is nicer than that thing. That's never happening, or I mean, not never, but you know. I think even like, where's my phone? Oh. Okay, I actually have no idea where my phone is. I think it's under stuff. Whatever. But anyway, put the pressure on. What was I saying? They always have that, don't they?
Buying or selling.
I love omelets.
I forget this is what I was gonna say, but like one of the things I was gonna say was like the only upgrade I would like, unless you're gonna buy like a legit like actual camera, like the only upgrade I can make, like I bought it, like this webcam I use is like a 720p webcam. I bought it like back in like 2013, I think.
Silver moon shall not fall.
So it's like the only upgrade I would do if I was gonna get one of those types of webcams, I would just get the 1080p version. But I don't know. Like even that would probably be worse than just using my phone. My phone would probably be a better webcam than that thing. Even the 1080p version. It's possible since I have such an old version, maybe it would just be better. That maybe even just having the 1080p version, like, because you know, I'm sure what they called a 720p webcam 6 years ago is probably worse quality than what the 720p webcam would be now. That might be why. I don't know. I might try to start using the phone. I'll have to check after the game.
It's time for
You toast!
He seems to be... This is actually beautiful, because now he can't even like suicide this thing. It's like it's two things that is gonna enrage. Oh, was it? Oh yeah, I was gonna say like the mage appears to be... He seems to be one of those kind of just a tempo mage, not like some kind of like cheesy like secret mage. Damn it. You're gonna play that right into my Frozen Crusher turn. You're gonna do that. Okay.
The light protects.
you want me
Be a good snail. Snail at least trades for a wasp, you know, it's still trading up. Paves the way for the Rap Golem. The unfortunate thing would be if he just board clears us. Then we cry. Oh my god. Okay, well. Obviously looks like a Flame Ward. Guess we still drop this.
So many possibilities.
Flame Ward is too strong. That is accurate. So the problem about dropping this is like he's gonna start pinging it down now, right? But I still think we do it. we wait a little bit. I just want to make my hand better, essentially. Actually, this is useful.
Someone call for the doctor. Who you want me killed?
I love omelets.
Look what I found.
Yeah, Flame Ward, it's really hard. Like, the reason I didn't, like, it's really hard to get and to not just trigger a Flame Ward immediately. Yeah, easy game. Cause it's really risky to do it ever, honestly, because like it's so hard because, you know, they have the mage hero power and stuff. Like, it's hard to develop something, but we kind of just debated him, you know, with the voodoo doctor kind of saved us, you know. You really have to plan it out really well. It's nice being like a warlock in that situation because it lets us refill our hand at twice the rate of him, you know. So we were able to find the answers that would allow it to be worth it to us. The risk of, like, the reason it's such a risk to ever try to do not trigger a flame ward is because, like, well, because they have the hero power, but also because they have like flame strike and stuff. It's like almost always it makes it so it's usually wrong, but you know, I think it was good in that scenario. Even then, it's like really risky, but I feel like if we just trigger it immediately there, we're just losing, so I think it was worth the risk. Just good. Fine. It's a positive tempo trade for us. We can try to get this. Problem is our turn 5's gonna suck.
I wonder.
It's okay. I think this is actually a better play than playing the Egg Napper, so I guess it's fine. Maybe next turn we coin this.
Your magic shall not save
An issue.
I love omelets.
Kind of hoping he clears our board somewhat. He seems to like, I don't know. He's not like over trading at all. This might make our next turn really awkward.
The frost wolves
We'll
stand
see.
ready.
actually good.
Who knows what secrets will uncover?
This might be good.
Don't touch the air.
I mean, it can be frustrating sometimes that it can. Any tips for playstyles to get your average up? I mean, playstyles? I don't know. It's a weird I mean, I haven't played that much since the micro adjust, so
Reporting for
I don't have
As long as it
amazing
keeps out.
specific advice for like this particular meta right now.
Deal.
Because I'm still experimenting, honestly. Warlock and Mage are really good. That would be some of my advice, I guess. Play those classes. Like, I think you definitely need to commit to a playstyle would be the thing. Like, it seems like if you're gonna be aggressive, you have to be really freaking aggressive. Otherwise, you have to be like a pretty slow deck right now, it seems like.
Nice to meet you.
Otherwise, you're just not gonna pressure people enough. So you actually have to fight for value. It's always nice to corrupt something that has like text on it, so like he wouldn't even want to like. Sometimes you could silence off like a corruption, but if you silence off a corruption on this guy, it loses reborn. So it's like, you know, you wouldn't even want to do it. That's a hell of a subdue.
I am the blade of the gods.
That's a hell of a card too. How did this guy get 11 wins? I'm not saying he's not playing bad, but like he got 11 with this deck, really? You have a freaking Priestess of Uldum. Like this guy's deck is terrible. You must have like an Oxari or something.
I've got the beast in my sight.
Of course.
Reporting for duty.
Why not? Maybe Dino Size? Yeah, it's very possible. I was thinking that too. Like, he's gonna Dino Size this thing and there's gonna be nothing we're gonna do about it. I don't think we play around that single card though. If it was more likely of a card to exist, I probably would, but it's just not, so. We Demon Bolt. Do we Demon Bolt a 2/1 to protect a 5/2? Probably not.
Reporting for duty.
Shields at the ready!
Maybe we should have, and this really sucked.
Join the guild. We have cookies.
I cast arcane missiles.
We still have a Shadow Flame. What are we gonna want? A Shadow Flame?
For duty.
Yeah, it'll grow back.
Those are really bad hits.
Someone call for the doctor.
I'm not sure we're gonna kill him in time. Those missiles probably lost us the game there.
Reporting for duty.
We need at least 2 to hit. Oh, okay, we're good. Never mind. Oh. Okay, I guess that's better.
The victory is yours.
That should have been a blowout victory. Like I had like a 3-win Paladin deck then. He played it correctly though, you know. That's probably why he was up there. He pretty much played it as well as he could have. I'm not sure if he needed to all in that hard at the end. But I mean it would depend on what was in his deck. So. GG. Getting all the golden cards on my Asia account. Feels weird, man.